And unlivable conditions have forced another family out of their Cedar Rapids home tonight. They blame the landlord, whom they call a slumlord. A 9-9 investigation tonight found that landlord is facing thousands of dollars in fines and even potential criminal charges over the state of her properties.
In the meantime, this is upending people's lives and leaving others feeling helpless. And KCRG TV9's Lacey Reeves reports on our I-9 investigation into that landlord.
That landlord's name is Bridget Toingar. Last week, we showed you these apartments on AOC Lane. The city of Cedar Rapids declared them uninhabitable, citing issues with the sewer. People living there had to move out. Today, that happened to another one of her rental properties. Sewer issues forced the city to declare this home uninhabitable. And this is just part of the pattern. We dug through inspection reports and court records and found Toingar has 10 properties in violation of city codes and a history of ignoring orders from both the city and judges to fix them.
Master manipulator.
That's how the woman who lived in this Cedar Rapids home describes her landlord, Bridget Toingar. She blames her for having to find a new place to live.
My heart dropped.
She asked us to hide her identity, but showed us what she's been living with for months. Clogged pipes and sewage standing in the basement.
But I still go down there and choose to clean up that mess. I have to close the vents in the house because if you turn on the heat or even the air, you smell all of that come up. So I have to close the vents.
Through a records request, KCRG obtained an inspection report the city made in March, giving the landlord 7 days to fix the plumbing. The property manager said they did not have the money to fix it. They didn't, which meant the family here now has to move out.
Then I was like, I have nowhere to go. What am I going to do?
The family hasn't found a new place to live and wants to see Toingar be held accountable.
I believe she should properly place everyone that she has destroyed because these are people lively. They was willing to live in that and give her a chance to fix the problem, and she did not.
But this isn't Toingar's only property violating city code. Similar sewer issues forced several families out of their apartments on AOC Lane last week. Last year, the city of Cedar Rapids even took Toingar to court for another of the buildings on AOC Lane on separate issues. The judge fined Toingar more than $2,000 and ordered repairs be made by March 7th. An inspection shows the violations are still not fixed, with a court date now in June. In all, KCRG obtained city inspections showing 10 properties in violation of city code, owned by 3 different LLCs, all registered to Toingar. 7 of them are residential. 3 are commercial, like the strip mall in Northwest Cedar Rapids.
I would use the words deceptive.
Mike Holder owns Pets Playhouse here. It's one space the city found multiple code violations dating back to 2023, including sanitation issues, graffiti, and peeling paint. Holder says the lack of maintenance has cost him over $1,000.
We had roof water leak into this tank, and it killed everything in this tank. So we had to start everything over, and we lost all that inventory of that fish.
The city sued Toingar to fix the problems. Toingar never showed up, so the judge ruled in favor of the city, fined Toingar $3,700, and ordered her to make repairs by June of 2024. Toingar again failed to show up to court in February, and now has a summons to appear later this month. Holder fears his store could be the next of Toingar's properties to be shut down.
This is my business. I have all my money stuck into this thing, and to have somebody come in outside because of someone else's neglect saying, hey, I could shut your business down, that's hard. If you're going to own a piece of property, you have to accept the responsibility that's associated with maintaining that property. That's not been happening.
This is another of Toingar's properties violating city code. We showed you last summer how this mysterious tower is irritating neighbors. The city has ordered her to take it down. It's still there, with the court hearing scheduled for later this month.
We are trying to force her hand in the court of law.
Kevin Ciabatti with the City of Cedar Rapids Building Services says it is working to enforce city code with every tool available. Toingar currently owes more than $20,000 in court fines. She could face criminal charges if she continues to skip court dates and ignore judges' orders. But her 3 companies are still able to operate in the city for now. Is there any way that she can be removed from that landlord list?
We are looking into that, to whether or not this would be a situation where we would pursue that. However, I want to be very clear that when you remove somebody from that rental business permit, it applies to all their properties. So for example, if there are properties that are in compliance or individuals living in those individual units that have no reason other than to be removed, it would be very difficult for us to take action in a situation like that, remove somebody from a property that's totally in compliance.
Kevin, is Bridget Toyngar a slumlord?
I'm not going to answer, I won't answer that question.
But that's exactly what several people who were kicked out of her properties called her. Is that what you would call Bridget?
I would call Bridget, the call of that, I honestly would be thinking that they'd probably be giving her a compliment. If I called her a slumlord. If I called her a slumlord, I think I'd be giving her a compliment.
I did get a hold of Bridget Toyngar on the phone today. I asked her if she took responsibility for the violations in all of her properties. She told me no and directed me to the property manager. That property manager declined to talk with us. In the studio, Lacey Reeves, KCRG TV 9 News.